Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today's question is, can I analyze the case of Noah Donohoe? Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing anybody in this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoy this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I will put the link to Patreon in the description for this video. First, I'll look at the background of this case, move to the timeline of the incident, then offer my analysis. Noah Peter Donohoe was born on November 25, 2005, and was raised in Belfast, Northern Ireland. He lived with his mother Fiona on Fitzroy Avenue in the South Belfast University District. Noah was raised by his mother. After Noah was born, his father Emmanuel moved to the United States. Noah was a good student and did well in both math and science. He was on the basketball team at his school. A career in medicine was on his list of aspirations. Now moving to the timeline of the incident. On Sunday, June 21, 2020, at 3:30 a.m., 14-year-old Noah Donohoe left the apartment where he lived with his mother. At this time, it was raining outside. Noah was wearing a t-shirt, shorts, flip-flops, and carrying headphones. He returned at 4:05 a.m. Video surveillance revealed that he was soaking wet and did not have the flip-flops or headphones upon his return. Noah's mother did not realize that he had left the apartment that morning and would not find out for quite some time. On that same day, at about 5:30 p.m., Noah left his apartment again, this time on a trip that his mother knew about. He had made plans to meet with two friends at the Cave Hill Country Park. They intended to work on a project in an effort to win the Duke of Edinburgh Award. Noah was riding a black mountain bike and carrying a large backpack, a laptop, and some books. For some reason, Noah deviated from his plan to meet with friends and did not go to the park. At 5:50 p.m., video surveillance captured Noah riding his bicycle on Royal Avenue, which is a busy street in a shopping district. He had his backpack on, but by the time he reached the bottom of Royal Avenue, it was gone. It's not clear what happened to the backpack. The point at which Noah became separated from his backpack was not captured on video. At 6 p.m., a motorist saw Noah fall off his bicycle at a busy intersection. The motorist exited their vehicle to render assistance, but Noah climbed back onto his bicycle and rode away. Noah was captured again on video surveillance about 1,200 feet away on York Road. About 2 minutes later, he was seen in a neighborhood on Northwood Road. At this point, he was not wearing clothing or his helmet. There was no video surveillance of him losing these items. It's not clear how that happened. Two neighborhood residents spotted Noah riding his bicycle naked into a cul-de-sac on Northwood Road. The event stood out in their memories, mostly because of the nudity part. At 6:03 p.m., Noah was captured on video walking along the side of a house toward a gate. This gate led to a park behind the house. Noah was still not wearing any clothing. After this, Noah disappeared and was never seen alive again. Noah failed to call his mother Fiona at 6:30 p.m. as planned. At around 9:30 p.m., she reported him missing to the police. At around 6 p.m. the next day, a person who lived in the cul-de-sac where Noah had been walking naked, reported that his mountain bike was at the end of her driveway. A massive search effort was initiated by law enforcement. The police found Noah's cell phone in a park that he passed on the way to Northwood Road. Local residents found his helmet, shoes, and his hoodie scattered in the area. Noah's t-shirt, shorts, and underwear were never found. 3 days after Noah went missing, the police held a press conference where they revealed a theory about what happened to him. They believe that Noah fell off his bicycle, hit his head, and became disoriented. This is why he removed his clothing and disappeared. That same day, the manager of a pawn shop contacted the police and told them that a man named Daryl Paul tried to sell Noah's laptop. Daryl was well known to the police. He had accumulated almost 200 convictions for various offenses, including armed robbery and theft. He was arrested at his residence, where the police found Noah's backpack and books. He claimed that he found the items at the bottom of Royal Avenue, which is the area where Noah became separated from his backpack. Darrell turned over the laptop to the police. He had stored it at a homeless shelter. He was later sent to prison for 3 months for stealing Noah's property, but the police said that Darrell was not responsible for Noah's disappearance. He had an alibi for the time when Noah went missing. On June 27, 2020, 6 days after Noah disappeared, his body was found in a storm drain tunnel near Shore Road. His cause of death was drowning. He had entered the system through an unsecured storm drain in Seaview Park, not far from where he was last seen alive. Noah's body was over 3,000 feet away from the storm drain in the tunnel. The storm drain was normally locked with a padlock, but during an inspection a week earlier, a maintenance worker didn't remember to put the padlock back on. In August of 2020, the authorities determined that Noah's death did not involve foul play, but given the unusual circumstances surrounding his death, many people were not satisfied with this explanation. Furthermore, the police made an incredibly unusual move, which drew a lot of suspicion. They applied for and received a public interest immunity certificate, which meant they would not have to disclose certain information about the case to the public. The idea behind this certificate is that releasing information would damage the public interest, for example, by revealing the identity of police informants. There is no reason to believe that any informants were involved in Noah's case. Many people think that the police are simply trying to cover up their incompetence or hiding information supporting the theory that Noah was murdered. The police consider this case to be closed, but many concerned citizens are not convinced the police are telling the truth. They believe that Noah was murdered and his killer or killers have escaped justice. The police have responded by accusing the concerned citizens of spreading baseless and inaccurate rumors. They have asked for all speculation about Noah's case to stop. Now moving to my analysis. There have been many theories about what happened to Noah, but essentially this case comes down to 2 competing schools of thought. Either Noah's death involved foul play, or it did not. If evil operators were involved, they could have murdered Noah for any number of reasons. Maybe it was a crime based on his race or religion, or somebody killed him to steal his property. If this case did not involve any evil operators, then Noah must have drowned accidentally, or he brought an end to his own life. Maybe he had mental health symptoms. For example, psychosis could explain an accidental drowning, and depression could explain intentional behavior. This brings me to the question, was foul play involved in Noah's death? Let's take a look at the evidence both for and against the idea that Noah was a victim of foul play, starting with the factors that support this theory. Noah's mother did not notice any problems with his behavior prior to his death. His best friend didn't notice any problems either. On the day Noah disappeared, he was riding his bicycle in an area of Belfast that was known to be dangerous. At some point, he was separated from his belongings. This is consistent with being robbed. It is very unusual for a teenager to climb into a storm drain, even if they did intend on harming themselves. How did Noah's body move over 3,000 feet through a dark and cramped storm drain tunnel? Even those searching for him struggled to navigate those tunnels. Noah had very little water damage to his body, which is inconsistent with the idea that he was in the tunnel for 6 days. People who knew Noah believed he was not familiar with the area where the storm drain was located, like he had never been there before. If Noah's death did not involve any foul play, why did the police resist the release of any information? Their behavior is phenomenally suspicious for this type of case. It's difficult to believe that a police informant was involved in the investigation. What type of informant would have information about storm drain tunnels? Did this informant study storm drain activity, hoping that one day the information would pay off? Like instead of studying drugs or gangs, he decided to bet on a long shot. Now moving to the factors that contradict the theory that foul play was involved in Noah's death. About 14 hours before Noah left on his fateful journey, he had snuck out of his apartment during a rainstorm and remained outside for 35 minutes. This bizarre behavior could be consistent with mental health symptoms. He may have been acting erratically. As far as the argument that Noah was not familiar with the storm drain, sneaking out of the apartment supports the idea that Noah was familiar with a lot more than people thought. There was a side to him that others didn't know. Noah was riding a bicycle when the unusual events started occurring, like the loss of his backpack and the loss of his clothing. How would someone robbing him have removed his backpack while he was moving on a bicycle? Furthermore, why didn't Noah seek help? He had plenty of opportunity. He was in a crowded area when he was separated from his backpack. A motorist even exited a vehicle in order to help Noah, but he climbed back on his bicycle and rode away. Even if Noah was somehow robbed, this doesn't explain why he removed his clothing. Clearly, no one else caused the removal. Noah did that himself. Similarly, Noah's contact with the storm drain was initiated through his own behavior. He walked to the storm drain. No one was with him. No one forced him into the tunnels. As far as mental health factors, there was evidence that Noah was depressed and may have had other problems. For example, in the time leading up to his disappearance, he told friends that he was feeling blue. He looked for advice on how to keep Satan away, and he may have struggled with his sexuality. For example, Noah talked about being in denial and coming out. On June 16, 5 days before he went missing, he appeared to be depressed at school. On June 18, he sent a text message to a friend which read, quote, "Ask yourself, are you truly happy with the things in your life?" Unquote. On June 20, he talked to a friend about risks that must be taken in life. Noah had become obsessed with a self-help book written by the famous mental health clinician Jordan Peterson. He had a copy of the book in his backpack. Noah even tried to get in contact with Jordan Peterson through an Instagram account that Noah incorrectly believed belonged to Jordan. The police investigated and found that the Instagram account was fake, and Noah never actually communicated with Jordan or any of his helpers. On June 21, the day Noah disappeared, Jordan Peterson released a podcast about Sodom and Gomorrah. Noah searched the internet for the term Sodom and Gomorrah only hours before taking his fateful bicycle journey. The podcast referred to baptism and a return to water as the source of life. Noah ended up dying in water. When considering all the evidence, do I think that Noah died as a result of foul play? No, I believe that mental health symptoms and poor choices led to Noah's death. Here's what I think happened in this case. This is just a theory, my opinion. In the time leading up to Noah's death, he developed depression and psychosis. He started having a lot of thoughts about the meaning of life and religion. Some of these thoughts were intrusive and frightening. For example, Noah mentioned his desire to keep Satan away. Looking for answers about spirituality, Noah turned to the work of Jordan Peterson. Jordan is a doctoral level mental health clinician, but much of his content is related to religious beliefs. Noah became fixated on the idea of redemption through baptism. He developed a belief that he needed to remove his clothing and be submerged in water to be free from sin. This belief was held with a tremendous level of conviction and urgency. At some point, Noah separated from reality. He became psychotic. On June 21, 2020, Noah snuck out during a rainstorm in order to be baptized in the water, but this did not satisfy his intrusive thoughts. Later, when he was riding his bicycle, he took a more direct approach. He discarded his belongings, removed his clothing, and made his way to the storm drain. Noah climbed into the drain and drowned as a result. It's not clear if his death was accidental or intentional, but either way, he was reckless. Now moving to my final thoughts. Regardless of what caused Noah's death, the police should release the information collected during their investigation. It is in the best interest of the public to know the truth about what happened. For the police to keep secrets in a highly mysterious case and then admonish the public for speculating reveals how disconnected they are from how people process information. They are causing people to be fearful and maybe even paranoid. If the police have such a poor understanding of mental health and personality factors, their competence could be called into question. Those are my thoughts on the case of Noah Donohoe. Please put any opinions and thoughts in the comment section. They always generate an interesting dialogue. As always, I hope you found my analysis of this topic to be informative. Thanks for watching.